Happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday, June 6th. We're 6 days in to the 30-day challenge. I hope you all have at least taken a look and tried to implement some of the things on there, because the goal of the 30-day challenge is just to give you ideas on how to not only move your business forward, but to give you those ideas and creativity around touching your business every day. One of the things that we're going to be focusing on today is the boot camp to ED, Go ED Strong. And we have several EDs on the call today, as well as in our organization. And we want more, and you want to be an ED. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I wanted to start, we're going to actually start with a couple cleanup tips about the 30-day challenge. We'll go into talking about the boot camp that starts this evening. And also about, I had one more thing we were going to cover. We'll start there. And then, and then we're going to go over part of what we're going to go over about why you want to be an ED is understanding a bit of compensation. And so a lot of times we don't talk about money, but it's important for us to understand not only what it does to create momentum in our business, also about the position of leadership within our company, and the confidence that you have as you move forward with your clients. So the more clients you have, the more competent you become. And so that is what is so important, and we owe it to our clients to not only be competent, but to be confident in our offering. So we're going to talk about those few things. So to start us off today, I wanted to ask Sandy if she would talk about the difference in her business. You're good on the fly. The difference in her business, how she is different as an executive director comparatively to when she was growing her business. And so, Sandy?
Thanks for the 2-second notice on this.
You're welcome.
All right. I would say that it was a hobby in the past when I was just piddling around with it and was not making it a business. And now I am setting aside time just about every day to do something. And a lot of the people I've heard on Zoom calls and all kinds of calls, they say make time for it and do a little something every day. So I've been doing that. It was really hard for me to ask for help because I'm a figure it out yourself girl. So to reach up and ask for help was really hard, but now that I'm doing it, I'm asking all kinds of people for help, and it's going really, I've asked like 4 different people. And it's nice to get different takes from different people, because what might work for one might not work for another. So that's been a big deal, and it has definitely shot my confidence in what I'm doing to go to the next level and help more people.
Awesome. That's exactly right. It's so awesome in our company that we can reach up to anyone. It's not this to this to this. It's we're all available and accessible. We're all a part of a team, and there may even be someone who's not necessarily reaching up, but just reaching out. Could be along the same line as you, in the same maybe position in ranking,
right.
Executive director, or manager, a senior coach. We all can help each other. And so reaching out to each other and reaching up just means that people have more competency. As you have more clients and you're more successful, you just have more competency, which is all that means.
There's one more thing.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
The team thing has made a huge difference. We are working as a team where before it was, but it didn't feel like it so much. And now, because we're sharing so much stuff, and it's just team, do these calls together, do this together, do this. That has helped immensely.
Agreed. I totally agree. I wanted to mention so on our 30-day challenge, one of the things on, what day was it? On Wednesday, on day 1, it was scheduled a client celebration call, 3-way. And I've been coaching 5 years, still reached out to Molly and said, hey, would you get on a 3-way call with me with my client, Connie? She's been doing great on program, and I'd love to celebrate. So I didn't do all that separate. I just texted a 3-way text to Molly and Connie. Realized later that I sent it to Connie's home number. That's another, which is why she didn't respond. But but just said, Connie, I'd love to introduce you to my mentor, Molly. I'd love for her to hear how things are going, blah, blah, blah. And so I got Connie on the line, told Connie, made sure it was okay with her because I had sent it to the wrong number, and conferenced in Molly. And I've always wanted to bring up coaching with Connie, but it never seemed quite right. Didn't want to force it. And how awesome to have a third party ask a lot of questions. And so naturally her say, so Connie, like, are you ready to share this with some other people? You've got gifts. You used to be a nurse. Like, it's a great fit for you. And she's like, actually, yes, I think I'm going to do that. It was just like casual conversation. There wasn't a program present. There wasn't a presentation about it. It happens in conversation and relationship, which is what our company is finding, is that this is not about get out your flip chart and your binder and make sure that you can give this thorough presentation. It's about creating a relationship, how we can connect people to our offering, no matter what that is. Some people need our habits of health the most. They need to get in, they need to dig in, they need information and education. Other people need a social circle. They need to be around like-minded people. Some people just need to make some more money. Some people want to get out of a job that they're in that they don't like. Some, there's a reason for us to connect and to talk to people about what we have to offer. So the boot camp tonight, in the email, I copied and pasted some thoughts that Molly had. So I'm going to open it up to Molly for her to give a little bit more info about the boot camp tonight. And for those of us that have already done the boot camp, why we would not only do it again, but maybe stay up late when we don't normally, or making time on Tuesday to listen to the replay, and really putting it in your calendar as an appointment, not I hope to get around to that, but this is what time I am doing it. So Molly?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. No, I'm really excited about the boot camp. And just to kind of back up a little bit and share with everybody that the leadership call has been in place for as long as Take Shape for Life has been established. So the leadership call has always been on Monday nights at 9 o'clock. And every leader that I've ever spoken to or heard speak has always said, I don't miss leadership call. And our line goes to it live every week. And I think just once or twice in all of the history that Ron Gels has been in Take Shape for Life, I think he's only had to listen to the recording twice. So this is a very well-respected leadership call that is attended by our leadership team. And it starts at Mondays at 9. And so what we're seeing here is a little bit of an evolution, because they've decided to back off this tried and true 9 p.m. leadership call, break it down to just 15 minutes. So from 9 to 9:15 is the leadership call. Then at 15 minutes, 9:15, they're going to break out into 2 sessions. One is going to be for brand new health coaches. There'll be a 45-minute to an hour call for them to hear from the top leaders. Welcome to health coaching. Here are the steps that we suggest that you take next, and do their initial training with them. And then the notion would be that brand new health coach goes back to their sponsoring coach to get them to senior coach. Okay, so the idea is they get introduced, and they get handed back to their sponsoring coach, and that sponsoring coach does what we know to do to take them to senior coach. Okay, the other breakout session that happens at 9:15 is going to be for those who are interested in going from senior coach to executive director, blended path. Okay, so that is great, because then when we help that person get to senior coach, we're plugging them back in at 9, into a boot camp that is going to then focus on getting them from senior coach to ED. So I'm liking the process of that. The couple of reasons why I would certainly encourage everybody on our team to go to this boot camp. Couple of things. One is, if you've already been through the boot camp, great. I'm excited that you've already done that. You've probably already experienced a tremendous confidence, growth, or process that you really can get your arms around as a result of that 6-week boot camp. I haven't heard anybody who's gone to the 6-week boot camp and said, wow, I wish I hadn't done that. So I think that the 6-week boot camp is very, very helpful. Now, why do you want to go again? Because the first time you hear something, you only hear a certain percentage of it. Okay, you might take the big nuggets away, but I think we're now all using those systems in a way where we will really benefit from hearing the rest of it, that we can hear and listen for the gaps that we now know exist because we're using the system. Okay, so one, you're going to get additional information. Two, I think it's in our best interest as business coaches to go through a system and a training that we're going to have our sponsors, our coaches underneath us go through. So, and again, yes, it's over 6 weeks, but they're taking the 4th of July off. So it's really 5 weeks of information. So from a system standpoint, I'm really interested in how are we doing, what are they gleaning that can now be done in 5 weeks instead of 6. So that's kind of interesting to me. And lastly, hearing this simple systems from other leaders, I think will be really, really interesting. One, because a variety of leaders and their leadership styles are going to speak to you differently than the leadership style that you were introduced to in the first boot camp. Not that it's not a great leadership style, it certainly is. But hearing maybe just a little bit different verbiage, a slightly different approach using the same simple system. I think it's just going to be a huge benefit. I'm planning to be there. I could listen to, simple systems all day long because that's how my brain works. I love getting my head around how to do something and then be able to teach somebody else how to do it. And that's really the key. If you really want to be a business coach, you need to listen not only with the ears of a health coach that's trying to get to the next level, you need to be hearing it with your business coaching ears on as well, so that you can turn around and deliver the same type of support to the people who are going to be looking to you for guidance. So I hope that's helpful, Nicole.
Yeah, that's great. It's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
To join is in the email. You need to join that link that was sent out by Dan Bell. Our group is called the Blended Path Bootcamp, and wanted to talk a little bit about what that means. What does it mean to have a blended path? And this is new for some of us. So Molly and I, when we became health coaches, there was no blended path. It was you needed 6,000 in volume to be an executive director. To be in leadership with the company, you needed 30 clients. That was it. And so now what they have done is they've created what's called the blended path, and there are benefits to this. Our company is all about momentum and really moving forward with helping other people to move forward in their business, not only with their clients, but also reaching out from the beginning for health coaching. Because much like I mentioned, even with Molly, I've been doing this a long time, the conversation has never come up. I've been coaching Connie for 3 months. It's never come up. So referrals have come up, and it still never seemed quite right to ask her if she would want to coach these people. And so it made sense for a third party who is encouraging her and excited to hear her story to bring up the idea. And so our company is seeing how all of these trends are playing a part and really implementing these new tools and systems into our coaching practice. So yeah, Molly?
Just some verbiage that has just come to me. So if you're in this situation where you are the business coach, it's really great to be able to say, hey, listen, you know what? I saw health coaching in Nicole right away, and clearly you know what a benefit that's been for her. And I see it in you too. Is that something you'd like to explore? Okay, so you're edifying that person by saying, hey, you know what? I saw these same kind of characteristics in the person that they've been working with. Okay, are you interested in exploring? Because clearly you have a gift. Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, I think that's great. And that's exactly right. And why it's so important for us to make sure that we make that offering and have other people in our world that can speak to that, because it just sounds different. It comes across different. It's more comfortable. And and along the way, what happens when somebody, so we're going to start from the beginning, and there are some new health coaches that'll be listening to this call. So just a little bit of verbiage around when someone becomes a health coach, they are just that. They are a health coach. The goal of the business coach and the new health coach is to have 5 new clients in your first month. Not only does that, like we were talking about, the big Mo, creating that momentum, but it helps the new coach to see if coaching is a good fit. And so that's why we suggest that you reach out, start sharing, spreading the word, and having 5 new clients start in your first month. The company gives a $100 bonus to the new health coach, as well as the business coach as well for mentoring. And what we love about our company is that the business coach gets paid nothing unless the health coach is successful. And so we have incentive to help others, not for our own gain, but for theirs. So we don't sit back and let somebody else do all the work, but we help and integrate our skills in coaching and mentoring, what we call just-in-time coaching. And we want to make sure there is that just-in-time coaching, so there's not this verbal vomit approach, just like we do when we're so excited to share a program with somebody, and we tell them everything there is to know, and they really only needed a little bit in order to kind of spoon feed it to them as they're ready. So we want to remember that as well. When somebody becomes a senior coach, just like in the boot camp when we were talking about going from senior coach to executive director, there's a path that happens. And so I'm wanting to share the screen here, if I can figure out with my desktop. If I can move this and go here, there we go. So I'm going to share the screen here. Thought this would be really helpful to go through the compensation plan, and I'm going to move to the path a second. Here. Okay. So can everyone see the screen? Okay. So health coach to senior coach. After senior coach, you have manager, associate director, director, and then executive director. So those are our paths. In your back office, we affectionately call those our smiley faces. So when you open up your back office, you want to see smiley faces. You want to see 5 of them. And when you see 5 smiley faces, that means you're an executive director. It's very exciting. But with the blended path, what has happened is that we can accumulate more smiley faces quicker, because when we have people becoming health coaches that are on our team, it's kind of like one health coach with 5 clients is equal to 5 of your own clients, if it makes sense that way. So when you have a health coach when you have somebody that becomes a senior coach on your team, it bumps you to the next rank. So if you're a senior coach and you have a senior coach on your team, you are now a manager, which over on this here, it says you're a qualified senior coach and 2 qualifying points. So that's how you grow in leadership. So let's say you have 2 qualifying points, means 1,200 in volume. 1,200 in volume means that's about 5 clients. So let's say you have 10 clients. So now you have $2,400 in volume, and a senior coach moves you to an associate director. So you can, which is called the blended path. And we're going to learn a little bit more through boot camp. But the idea is that you don't have to do this alone. There's a lot of ways to equal 5. Okay, so you can have 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, 4 plus 1. So there's a lot of ways. And so what that is how many points do you personally have? How many dollars in your personal volume or in your frontline volume? And then how much is your team providing? So for example, when someone wants to become an executive director and they think, oh, $6,000, that just seems like so far. And I know that Joy has even said to me, I don't know if I want to support that many people that would require that 20 to 25 clients. Seems like maybe it was a little too much for her. Well, if she has 4,800 in volume, which is about 16 clients, then she can have 1 senior coach and still be an executive director. Okay, so that's a little bit about how that works. I'm going to scroll up, because as we talk about why that's important, we're not going to get into the business coaching side of it today, but I wanted to show the client support commission and why, what it means when we have these ranks. And so it's a difference in payout of commission. So when you are a senior coach, you're making 15% commission. We highly recommend you get certified, which is where you get an extra 3%. We love that Take Shape for Life allows us to become a health coach for $199 and see if it's a good fit. And if it is, we then highly encourage you to go on and get your certification, which costs $200 to take the exam. The certification covers the complete habits of health and the workbook. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff from Robert Fritz in the test. And it's all about short-term, long-term reality frame of how you are thinking about your health. Has much less to do with mix this brownie for this long in the microwave so it doesn't blow up. There's nothing about brownie mixing on the test, or oatmeal, or soup, or lean and green even. It's all about that is not the stuff that moves people forward long-term. So the exam is all about how competent are you as a health coach to help people move forward to make long-term change in their life, optimal health for optimal days. And so what we are seeing in here is the client support commission clearly is the same across the board. When we get paid once a month or once a week, on Sundays, and then on Tuesdays it goes into our accounts through direct deposit. That 15% of whatever orders went in that week in your frontline volume gets deposited. And then once a month, no matter wherever you end up ranking, so let's say you end up as an executive director, which is here, you will then have that 31% total will be in your balance for that 16% left goes into your account once a month. So here would be the 19. So this is 14% more from here. So the reason they do it that way is because obviously on Sunday, they're not sure what rank you're going to be at the end of the month. So you get paid your 15% and then you get a bonus check. And so Sandy, I only see your steering wheel now, but I'm going to ask if you would share, if I can see how I can unmute you. I think I have to go back. Oh, here we go. Sandy, when you got your check, do you remember what you said to me when you were an executive director and you got that once a month check?
Yes, I said, I found this unexpected large deposit in my checking account, and what is all this money from?
What is it for? She said. I go, that's your payout for being an executive director. And she's like, but it's a lot of money. I said, I know, isn't that fun?
And so I said, oh, so I get that. That's nice. And she said, but you get that every month. And I'm like, what? Holy cow, that's my bonus check?
And technically, it's not even a bonus. So Molly,
right.
You're shaking your head. So Molly, why don't you explain the difference between what that is, not a bonus check? Oh, I think we're doing it at the same time. Go ahead.
All right. So yes, I call what Nicole just explained reconciliation, kind of in your checkbook. When you write checks and you don't realize whether or not they've cleared yet, it's kind of the same concept. So they catch up with you once you rank up and they reconcile what they owe you. As far as I'm sorry, my dog is snoring really loud. Excuse me. It's so loud, it's embarrassing. That's my dog. That's my dog. Yes, that is not me making weird noises. That's my dog. However, then if you're consistent across 3 months, based on that level of consistency, that's when you get a bonus. That's the bonus.
Here's the bonus right here. Do you want to go over what those are, Molly?
Sure. So if you keep the minimum of 2,000 frontline volume across 3 months, they'll just bonus you $250 for doing that. Again, if it's 4,000, it's $500. If it's 6,000, it's $1,000. So, it just shows up in your account like randomly and you go, what was that? And you're like, oh yeah, it's month 3. How nice, And, and it's based on the average of what you're making. So if your frontline volume average is 10,000 across 3 months, that's an even bigger number. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool.
The nice thing is that it does ebb and flow. And so if you have 1 month that's just shy of 6 and another month that's over, it still takes your average.
Exactly.
One thing to remember is though, if you fall out of that rank, so once you get your frontline volume above 2,000, that is month 1. So if it falls below, you start over. Okay. So is very, very much in your favor to get your business up to that manager level and to sustain that so that you can start your consistency rolling bonus. That's month 1, 2, and 3. Then you get your $250 if your average is 2,000. Just remember, if it does fall back to senior coach, you do start over again because it has to be above 2 for that to happen. And of course on here, the 30-day client acquisition bonus, we call that the CAB, is on here as well. So I wanted to go over that just so that you could see why there is a benefit to becoming an executive director and having how you can grow your business. And yes, for example, these bonuses, if you're an executive director, it doesn't mean that you get the $1,000 bonus because it's still based on your frontline volume. Okay. But it does help to see the blended path down here, which is what I wanted to get. Oh, here we go. This is the blended path here, how you can become a qualified senior coach with 5 qualifying points, which those you can have those be from senior coaches and reach executive director in a bunch of different ways. So this is a really great, this is called the Quick Integrated Compensation Plan at a Glance. So you can find a lot of this information in the back office under Document Library. I wanted to make sure that we shared a little bit of this and had a chance for you guys just to understand the benefit to not only being on the boot camp and understanding that you can achieve executive director by a blended path and really start sharing the health coaching opportunity from the beginning, and really be able to grow a business that's based in equity and not just in frontline volume. So it is great to have $6,000 in frontline volume. In the short term, you do make more money that way. Your income is higher. But long term, the equity of having a business that have other people who are doing what you're doing and doing that together shows out far greater in the end for your business. So thanks for joining our call today. We'll go ahead and post the recording in Team Shine. And please get on your 30-day challenge. It's meant to help you. I'm here to help with any questions that you might have and to help you move forward to accomplish your goals. And if you haven't sent your map to me, please do so. That would be excellent. That would be beneficial in helping you move forward. So you guys have a great week, and we'll talk again soon. Get a great day.